So, weird year, huh? Just a bit. I thought I'd do a video today where I talk about my year. You watch me through your computer, your phone, your laptop, whatever you're watching through, your console these days. You kids, honestly. Goodness me. And I feel like while some of you will know me from watching streams and follow me on Twitter or Instagram or things like that, right, that there's lots of you that probably still don't really know me and know how I operate and how I work and how I think and how I do things. And, well, I'm going to take this video a little bit as a chance to tell you how that happens. Because while it's been a weird year for lots of people and an awful year for a lot of people, for me it's been mixed, but there's lots of positives to take from this year. And that's something that this time last year, I didn't know how different this year would be. No, I'm not talking about that pandemic you've heard about it. This time last year, I didn't know I was going to be a dad. I did not know this day last year. And now I've got a son who is 4 months old today. That's quite a big change. And while doing this daily, and almost daily, more recently, has been the priority for me for the last 4 or 5 years. I started doing this 5 or 6 years ago, and the goal was always to make it a full-time venture. Like, why would I not want it to be? Do you know what I mean? Like, being able to turn on Football Manager every day, play that, make videos, entertain people, hopefully give something for people to enjoy. Of course, that was like something I wanted to do. I've talked about it before. I've had a channel previously that I'd failed on necessarily when I was a lot younger, and always looked at YouTube as something I thought that I understood and could work harder at and make something of. And I'm quite proud of myself sitting here now at the end of 2020, knowing that I've had this as a job for 3 years, and not just a hobby, but something I can tell family about and support a family with now. It's kind of crazy that we've got to this point in what still feels quite quick. And thanks to you for giving it a chance. I think that's all I think when you do YouTube, all you really want is you want people to give you a chance at giving whatever you're doing 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't know. Like, that's what when I do a video, I think if people just get to this bit, then I think they'll get something from it. And hopefully most of the time that's just me being daft and it being quite funny. Or we do a serious video like this. Like some of the videos I get the most comments about are things where I've talked about my mental health, or I've done a Q&A and I've mentioned something and someone has gone, oh, I remember you saying this. And those videos are something I probably don't do enough of. It's funny, isn't it? Because I do streaming so much, I feel like lots of people hear from me and they understand, as I mentioned at the start, the way I think and the way I operate. But actually, you guys that watch on YouTube don't necessarily get that version of me as often. You get the stupid, tactical incompetence that is my YouTube series. And I like to think there's a lot more to me than that. And being a dad this year knowing I was going to be a dad in circumstances that are so alien to all of us, it feels like, has been a real challenge, but something that I feel like actually I've begun to thrive under. And it's weird sitting here having had a life-changing and happy year. Like, he's just been in the room now. Elle just brought him in, a little dog, and sort of just said hello to him, and he just woke up from a nap. And Ben of this time last year was hoping for that. Like, it was something I was hoping would happen. I can't believe that it's happened. And I also am so acutely aware that it couldn't have happened without you giving me that 10 seconds, that 15 seconds, that 20 seconds, whether it be here or through Patreon, which is now the Supporters Club, or people on Twitch that have supported over the years. Like, it couldn't have happened. I wouldn't have brought somebody new into a world that they weren't, that me and Ellie weren't ready for. And the Ben of 5 years ago thought it wasn't going to ever happen. And because I felt like I'd wasted 5 years of my life, really. And now we sit here 5 years later, and I feel like it was worth it. I feel like putting in hours of editing until 3 a.m, or doing videos twice a day for a period during this year, like we did 2 a days for a long period of time. Like, it was the sort of thing where I worked hard this year, and it was without really Doug coming into the world. It was a case of, for me, I want to be at the top of the game. Like, of doing Football Manager content, there are some great people that do some great stuff. But for me personally, and it's just the way it's just the way I'm built, or the way I think, I want to be the best. Now, you can have your favourites, of course you can, but it's not really about what you think, it's about what I think about myself. And I knew last year that I wasn't that. And this year I felt like I came back and I roared forward, and I did some really great stuff and made some really good content. And Glory Hunter was fantastic. Like, it was one of my best series I think I've done. Twitch absolutely exploded. Like, the viewership we had over on Twitch, for those that are unaware, we went from having sort of 500 or 600 people watching, and over the lockdown period it went to sort of 1,500, and during streamer showdowns, which were so exciting for me to be a part of, it went to 3,000 at one point, and that number just sort of, they lingered for a long time. So if you came and supported during that time, a time that was difficult for me, having a pregnant fiance, and for you having what was going on in your life, then I appreciate you coming by again and giving me that time to showcase what I was doing on a platform that I've also fallen in love with for a long period of time with Twitch. Did that before starting this channel. So through doing that and collaborating and doing other different bits and pieces and doing Thames again this year and bringing that back, and even the Newcastle save, there's been so many moments for me this year that I felt closer to my audience, and I feel like my relationship with you guys is really good. And I watch a lot of YouTube channels, and I watch a lot of videos, and I watch a lot of comment sections and a lot of Twitter profiles, and how people react and collaborate with their audience just on a personal level, right? And sometimes it's not all good, and sometimes it's great, and I admire those communities, and I'm so privileged, I think, to have that community myself. You can take the mick out of me for bottling things and for getting tactical decisions wrong and making substitutions that don't make sense and signing players that are 54. But ultimately, I think that my relationship with you is actually very good, and it makes this a lot easier. And it means that when I need to take a break for a couple of days, like this year started off excited because I knew I was going to be a dad. We found out in January last year. Telling family was like a huge moment. Then everyone went into lockdown, and I couldn't go to the meetings that went on between Ellie and doctors and things like that, about midwives, about the birth. We then had the birth, which was and then from that moment onwards, they talk about sort of postnatal depression, and I went through a period of feeling a little bit lost and a little bit confused, and it partially came from having to wait to make videos again, because there was this period of time where I didn't, as you probably noticed. And yeah, it was difficult to get back into the rhythm and get back into the mindset, because doing this daily, like, there are tougher jobs in the world, do not get me wrong, but putting yourself out there to essentially be judged every single day, even if you know that judgment is going to be quite kind, is difficult. And that's the bit that I think we're doing this for. People ask me off this, they say, what's difficult about this is that it doesn't switch off. When I turn off the computer, my phone is connected to Twitter and to Instagram and to YouTube and my emails, and I want to know what's going on, and I want to stay connected, because ultimately I found that putting the most amount I can into this gives me the most amount out. And that's something that I'm going to endeavour to do more and more and more. And it's going to be like next year. I feel less prepared for the year coming than I did for the year gone, because I have so many surprises that came last year. But equally, I feel driven to make more of not just myself on a professional level and a level of connecting with you, but on a personal level, I want to get fit. Like, that's the one thing in my life that I don't hide from you lot, but it's something that is in my mind all the time, of something that I'm not happy with and I must change. And I feel like mentioning it now is quite scary for me, because it's not something I ever really talk about, but it's something that I know that by mentioning it, I'm forcing myself into it a little bit. I feel emotional about it, talking about it, because it's something that, again, I've not hidden over 5 years, but I'm certainly not, it's not something I would ever document or talk about. And I didn't know when I hit record that I would talk about it, but it felt like something that, if I'm going to be honest with you and open with you, this is one of the things that I need to address, and my health and my fitness needs to go from here to here over a period of time. It takes a long time. I studied PE at A level. I know a little bit enough about what goes on and things that need to be done. I don't necessarily need advice, but I absolutely need guidance, and probably someone to go get out of bed and go for a walk or a run. So that might be something that we look towards next year. And whether I choose to document that, I don't know either. But this video really, despite all the stories I'm telling you now and talking about the way that I live my life, is a thank you. Thank you for giving me that chance. Thank you for allowing me to have this as a job. And thank you for making 2020 for me unforgettable for reasons that aren't just related to a global pandemic. Next year will be even better, and I hope you'll give me that chance again. I'll see you soon. With love, with care. Have a great new year. Hope you had a lovely Christmas. and let's get to 100,000 subscribers. See you soon.